Hey everyone, this is Mike,
Hey, this is Josh.
and we are real dead. And
Yep.
Josh, we're freezing up already. So Elon Musk, sorry about that, but
I'm not freezing up. Mine's
uh
crystal clear over here.
yeah, on my end you were frozen there. So
Oh, shoot.
Josh, our monthly for the month of May.
Yep.
What was our four movies and what one?
Well, with over 250 votes, Mike, which is, I think, one of our highest so far since we've been doing this, Drag Me to Hell won. And the other options were Becky, which got 7%, Seven, which got 7%. Seven got 7%. From Dusk Till Dawn, that I think got 32%, if I remember right, something like that. And Drag Me to Hell, I think I had 52%, Mike. I think that's what it was, or 50%. So it won pretty handily. Um, and this is a 2009 movie. It is PG-13, but what it has going for it is it is directed and written by the great Sam Raimi, Mike, from Evil Dead fame and Darkman, and he did the Spider-Man trilogy in the early 2000s. I mean, he's involved in a lot of good things. That's what it had going for it, in my opinion. And some of that does come through in the movie, like the Evil Dead stuff and or whatever. Now the budget of this movie was $30 million, Mike, and it made worldwide 90.8 million. So it was a success. It wasn't, a huge success, but it was a success.
$30 million is not. I mean, that's not a cheap movie. It costs some money to make that.
Right. And it was 90, it made 90.8 for worldwide.
So it tripled its budget.
Right.
So let's real quick the synopsis, and we'll jump straight into this. What we like, what we
Yep.
don't like, and then we got our 6 point scale system here, scoring system. But it says a 92 from tomato meter, the critics, which is really good, and a 62 from
That
the popcorn meter,
surprises
which
that surprises me, Mike, with that 92, because a lot of times critics are not very kind to horror movies, Mike.
true. So it says Christine Brown, Allison Lohman has a loving boyfriend, Justin Long, and a great job at a Los Angeles bank, but her heavenly life becomes hellish when an effort to impress her boss, she denies an old woman's request for an extension on her home loan. In retaliation, the crone places a curse on Christine, threatening her soul with eternal damnation. Christine seeks a psychic help to break the curse, but the price to save her soul may be more than she can pay. So, um, pretty good there. Um, Overall, Josh, I mean, we'll get into the scoring of this and see how we score. But did you enjoy the movie? Yes or no?
Uh, I'm gonna say kind of. I'll say there was
Okay.
some enjoyable stuff about it. I did see this when it came out. It was a long time ago. That was like a totally seems like a total another life ago when I went and seen this movie in 2009. But I do think it has some good stuff in it, and I think the ending is actually pretty good in this movie. I do like the twist of this movie at the end. I enjoy that. It does have some gross out stuff, which I enjoyed as well. Some good practical. I enjoy that. Some of the CGI is very sus. And people might say, "Oh, well, 2009." Well, 2009. I mean, has the CGI gotten that much better since 2009? I don't know. I just think this looks kind of sus. Um, but I will say, for a PG-13 movie, I think it's more solid than a lot of PG-13 movies, horror movies that we've seen lately. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I thought overall it started out really strong, and then to me the third act kind of fell apart. I didn't mind the very ending of it. I thought it was unique, different,
Yep.
and the little twist on the whole button and all that was really cool.
Yep.
So I did like the very end of it.
Oh, and Justin Long is
They're
enjoyable.
great.
He's I seriously he's done a lot of horror, and I just like that guy in movies. I don't know if it's his charisma or whatever. I just like Justin Long in movies, man.
Yeah, and the lady that plays supposedly at the festival, you had the lady from is it Aaron? Is it starts her last name starts with a B, but she played Valak. the nun.
Okay.
She plays in this movie as well.
Is
But
she the
it's
older lady? Is she like the older
no,
gypsy
she's
lady?
not the older lady. She's in there just for a brief second in it.
Oh,
But
okay.
the older lady that plays kind of like the witch or the crone, what they called her, she was a good actress too, but she was scary looking in it. And that whole
Yeah.
scene with her in the car and the main character, the actress in that was pretty gross, pretty scary, pretty creepy. I was all in that first and second part of this movie. Again, to me when it got to the house, uh, from the very beginning, it's kind of when it went sideways for me. But you want to go ahead and jump straight into these categories, and let's go ahead and score it and talk a little bit more
Sure.
about it.
Right. Can I talk about bring that up? I'll talk about an issue I had. So it's always like these gypsy type characters that get wronged and then they put a curse on somebody. I mean, let's be real. If curses were real, people would be doing them all the time. They're obviously they're not real, but um I just think it's always they always portray like a gypsy type of character. I mean, this Thinner did this to a Stephen King movie. Um, and there's been other movies, I can't think of any examples right now, but there's been other movies that use this same kind of story, which I wasn't high on, but let's get to that.
Okay, so it says number one is story and plot. Evaluates the narrative structure, originality, pacing, and emotional resonance.
Yeah, for me it's a 2, Mike.
Two for you.
Yep.
Okay. So I kind of like the story and the plot. For me, story and plot evaluates the narrative structure, originality, pacing, emotional resonance. Um, I'm gonna go a little higher than you. We say this
Okay.
once now 2.5 as being average. I'm going to give it an average because I really did like the story and the how it started up. It's just the
Yeah.
ending of it for me that went sideways.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a 2 on it. I just thought it was kind of like, okay, some kind of position, curse, whatever. It didn't really do anything for me. It was
So
okay though. It wasn't.
direction assesses the direction's vision, storytelling ability, and execution.
Well, this is high. This is Sam Raimi. I thought he did a really well job with this. He has a direction. He has a vision. Um, and with that being said, I'm gonna say a 4 on that one, Mike.
Okay. Um, I'm going to agree with you on it. I mean, again, I thought this really started out strong, the first and second act of it. Um, of course, third, not a fan of it, but I'm gonna give this one a 3 for me.
Okay.
Whoops. All right, so now we go to acting. Focuses on the performance, chemistry, and believability of the cast.
So, as I said before, Justin Long is great in this movie. The main actress, I thought she was okay. It wasn't like she was, a stellar performance in my opinion. I would just say middle of the road. Some of the supporting characters were just okay to me. Like the guy that's like the other, the guy that was like the tarot card reader guy. He was good. I thought he was a good character. And like you said, the lady that played the gypsy or whatever, she was good. For me, overall, I'm just gonna say average 2 point. I'll say 2.5.
Okay, and I'm gonna give this one I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna go a little higher than you on this one. I do think it was just a tad above average. I like Allison Lowen and I like Long in it.
Yeah.
Um, I thought that again the scary lady at the beginning, the
Hmm.
boss. I thought it was just a tad above average. So I'm gonna go with a 3 right there.
Okay.
Okay, so cinematography looks at the visual style, camera work, lighting, and overall aesthetics.
I thought this was pretty high. I think you have a really good crew working on this, and Sam Raimi knows what he wants. I go for a 3.5 on this one, Mike.
Okay.
I
Okay,
thought
so
some of
looks at
this.
visual style, camera work, lighting, and overall
Well,
aesthetics.
I thought some of the shots. I'll say real quick. Some of the shots were directly from like Evil Dead type stuff, and I like those kind of callbacks. So I thought that was good.
Yeah, so for me on this one, I'm going to give it a 2.5 average for me. There's some things I didn't like about it, but I think it goes more underneath the number 6 category for me. So I'm going to give this one a 2.5 being average for me. All right, so music and sound reviews the soundtrack, score, sound design, and how audio enhances the story.
I thought it was pretty generic sounds. I'm probably gonna go a 2 on this one, Mike.
Yeah, you and I are copying each other. I was going to say a 2 as well. I thought it was a tad below average.
Yep,
Nothing really got me
generic.
scared by the music and stuff, and it just, you know, it just didn't really do a whole lot for me. I thought it was
Yep.
lacking a little bit in that area.
Yep.
All right,
I am gonna talk about the ending coming up with the kills, Mike. So
okay. So kills the quality, originality, practical effects, and CGI.
So the CGI was not great in this movie, in my opinion. Especially this like handkerchief that was like the witch they had floating around and clinging to her face and all. It didn't look good, in my opinion. Some of the other stuff I didn't really care for. The Billy Goat didn't look great when it like got possessed. Um, but now the practical stuff I did like the blood squirting out her nose, all over her boss. I like that. I like the thing with the gypsy spit all those maggots all over her face. That was a practical effect. I saw that. And then this other thing where this corpse that she rolls on, it like shoots all this like liquid into her mouth, and that was sick, man, wasn't it, Mike? Um,
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
yeah, and so some of the practical stuff, I give them some props on that stuff. I'd say the CGI falls flat for this, and it surprises me that Sam Raimi used a lot of CGI because he's really big on practical. Obviously, well, back in the day he was anyway. Um, so I was kind of surprised by that. I do like some of the kills. I mean, they don't mess around in this movie. Within the first 10 minutes, they pull like a 10-year-old child down to hell, Mike. So yeah, they don't mess around. A child is dragged to hell, and just when you think at the very end of the movie that the final girl is survived it all, she gets pulled down to hell too because there was a twist that she thought she gave the button to the corpse of the lady that cursed her because the button is the cursed item. Nope, it was her. It was her boyfriend's quarter in an envelope, and you can see how those could get too mixed up. The button and the quarter are about the same size. So, and that was a pretty cool twist. And Justin Long's character in this didn't really believe his girlfriend that much. He's a real skeptic with all that. But at the end, he saw her being pulled down to hell, and he had a tear drip down his face, didn't he, Mike? It was a really cool scene at the end. That was a cool kill. And I liked also the part about her being dragged to hell. You seen like her face turn into like a skeleton. It was like burning and dissolving as she was being bowled down into hell, Mike. And
So
so
your score?
I'm high on this, Mike. I give this there's not many kills in this movie, I think 2 or 3. And they do kill a cat, so I think some people might not like that. But
Yeah,
I
my wife
think
freaked out on that.
yeah, so I think some of the kills, I do think the kills that we get are pretty quality. The one at the end is good. I'm going to give it a 3, Mike, because I really enjoyed that last kill. Like I said, there's only 2 or 3 kills in this movie, but at the last one's pretty good quality.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of piggyback on you. What was bad was really bad, and what was good was pretty good.
Yep.
CGI I thought was really bad.
Yes.
The goat in it and stuff was just was not good at all.
Oh, didn't
Um,
he like swore, but he like did the goat thing? He was like, bitch.
yeah, and then I also thought the scene where she was in the grave with the
Was
old lady, and she was just
I thought that
trying
was
to put the
okay.
envelope back in its mouth, and I was
Well,
just
that
like,
was
it
all
just
practical, Mike, I think, wasn't it?
I know, but it looks so bad in my
Oh, I
opinion.
thought it was okay.
That's just my opinion on it. So
I didn't have a problem with that.
on this one, as bad as it was and as good as it was, I'm gonna go a tab below average. I'm gonna go a 2 on this one.
Okay.
So all right. So now we get to see what our overall score is.
Okay.
And
What is it?
It's Josh in with a 2.8 out of
Okay.
5, which would translate to a 5.6. And I came in at average 2.5, which would translate to a 5. So if you look back at the Rotten Tomato score with a 90 and a 60, 60 something, we're both off a little bit. We thought maybe it's
Yep.
a little bit less than um, what the popcorn meter or what the critics thought. But
What
still,
is
I mean,
the
it's a movie still worth seeing, in my opinion. Anything
yeah,
that's going to be average above is worth seeing.
and I think it's something you could, show your children. I don't think it's that anything that bad. It's PG-13. Um, so there's not like a lot of language in it or anything like that, Mike. I mean, I think it is a movie you could show kids. I mean, you're, like a younger horror fan. So what's the rewatchability for you, Mike, on this one? Would you be willing to rewatch it again, or probably not, or maybe in 5 years?
Well, I'd actually thought I'd never seen this movie, but I had seen it before. I forgot. I just thought this movie was older than what it was. Um, it's one of those. I'm not going to watch it every year, but maybe every 2 or 3, 4 years, maybe.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I'd
I
watch
might
it again.
I probably watch it again in like 5 years. I mean, so it's not a
Yep.
high rewatchability. It's not like Trick or Treat or something like that. But yeah,
They
it's
are
definitely
in talks, though, right, Josh, about doing a part 2 to this that just came out
yeah. So
recently.
I yeah, so I saw that. Hang on just a second, I gotta sneeze. So yeah, so when I was doing research on this movie, I saw that they said they possibly Raimi is looking into doing a sequel about this with his production company. I think it's called Ghost House and or Ghost, yeah, something like that. So I was really surprised by that because it's a pretty definitive ending with this character. Like she's dead. I mean, she's in hell. So I don't know if they do Justin Long's character. I have no idea what they could do here. Maybe they could just do a brand new story. But I guess I'm interested, Mike. Honestly, especially now in this time, what they could do with it. I call me. I'm interested.
Okay.
What do you
Yeah, I mean, I
think?
definitely would watch it. I don't know if I'd pay to go watch it, but I may have to wait and see what the critic score is.
Oh, Mike.
You know me, Josh. All right, we appreciate you guys checking us out, and thank you for the votes on this movie and for the next one
Yep.
coming up for the month of June. Uh, definitely vote on that one as well.
We
Josh,
don't
in
know
the
what the
next
movies for
couple,
that are yet.
yeah, in the next couple of weeks, Josh will put that out
Yep.
for June. But Josh, anything else you want to say?
That's it, man. I'm good.
All right, you guys have a good one. All right, bye.
Bye.